What's up, guys? Welcome back. It is Wednesday, and check out NVDA. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Man, I am bummed that we own shares of NVIDIA, not options, because NVIDIA is up like 12 or something % right now. And had we owned options, we'd probably have been up like 80 to 100% today. We would have had another ridiculous day. But what can you do? I didn't have enough money to get options. I should have just sold my stock and bought options instead. But I was trying to be safe. And sometimes being safe will leave a lot of money on the table, as you'll learn. But, hey, you can't complain too much. 12% is still good. We have 100 shares, so we should be making about, right now we're up about $1,300 just from them. However, I saw that Apple and Tesla were down just a little bit, so I'm not sure how Amazon's doing this morning. I haven't seen it yet, but we might not have making money today. It just depends on how Apple and Amazon, Tesla do. So we'll see. Kind of sucks about NVIDIA, but at least we're going to make some money off of them, so that's good. We still get dividends from them, so we'll make a little bit of money. But yeah, I definitely need to get into some options. I want to either get NVIDIA options. I still want to get Ferrari options. And yeah, Disney fell. ESPN has been hurting Disney. If you guys are new to the channel, Disney, and didn't know this, Disney owns ESPN, and ESPN's viewership has been declining, and they're trying to think of a solution of what to do to get ESPN to be more profitable. So yeah. Alright, so today's episode is all about esports, and I want to go through really quick what Jim Cramer was talking about with NVIDIA because it's kind of a long clip and I want to keep this video as short as possible, so I'm going to summarize it as fast as I can. Alright, so Jim Cramer started talking about MOBA, which is Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. And he was saying esports is as popular among male millennials as baseball. And more people will be gaming than people who watch HBO, Netflix, ESPN, and Hulu combined. And I'm assuming he was talking about that same demographic, the millennials. And then David was talking about how Activision was doing really well, and then Jim Cramer said EA Sports is also doing really well. And then he went on to say who uses the NVIDIA chips: Amazon Web Services, Facebook, Google, IBM, Microsoft, Lockheed Martin, the U.S. Navy, IKEA, 225 cars and trucks, auto businesses, and the Nintendo Switch. So a lot of companies, some of them you might not even have known about, uses NVIDIA, and mostly they use them for their artificial intelligence with a lot of these companies. And Cramer was saying that they're pretty much the only ones who have artificial intelligence. I wasn't sure if he meant for like auto cars or for basically for everything, but NVIDIA is the chip to buy. It was the point. And they were talking about Electronic Arts being a good play with the gaming industry. Check out them. They're up huge today. Dang. I need to get in on this esports stuff, man. Alright, here comes the markets. Let's see. It should be about half and half today because the futures weren't doing too well. Yeah, a little bit more red. So it could go either way for us today. But thankfully NVIDIA is going to keep us with some gains, but we gotta see how everyone else is doing. So when I logged into my account, I noticed that my total market value balance dropped, and the total market value is the sum of what all my stocks and options are worth altogether. And so I clicked the refresh tab on my orders tab and saw that my Habit Restaurant stock sold. And so if you watched the previous vlog, you saw that I placed a trailing stop on QOTD, and it raised the trigger price by itself to $19.25 a share. Well, since Habit was down today and it went down below that, it triggered a sell order which got rid of all my shares. So I clicked refresh and I saw the money. I had more money in my account to play with. And again, as the previous vlog showed, I did want to get into Ferrari options, but then I got distracted by Jim Cramer again.
This is esports. This sells out so quickly.
We're talking about esports right now.
People play games and electronic arts when you combine with the NVDA high-speed
serious sponsors.
Big.
Big consumer names.
This is crazy.
I think Kraft.
Look at electronic
And
arts.
EA said, listen, we don't even need that money. That's icing. That's Take-Two, by the way. You mentioned Activision. This is the fastest growing actual secular trend in the country, which is watching
crazy.
other people. Bad enough that you play it yourself. Watching other
play
people.
Video games. I know.
Well, talk about time on your hands.
So crazy.
EA benefiting.
All right, so back to the Ferrari calls. I decided to place a buy order for 5 contracts. And if you look at the ask price, it says $2.50 per share, which is quite a big spread from the bid. But I wanted to get in anyways, so I just went ahead and placed a market order there. January 19th, 2018 expiration, $100 strike price. When I went to place the order, it gave me an error message saying that I had to wait till 8:45 a.m. Central Time, and it was 8:44 a.m. Central Time, so I had to wait another like 30 seconds. And then the time went to 8:45. I was able to place my order, and you can see the estimated order cost is $1,260. But when I placed the order, I got in at $1.70 per share. So I saved 80 cents per share from the bid price that it was showing, which times 100 is $80 per contract, times 5 is $400 that I saved just there. So that was pretty awesome. So I had a lot more money to spend. And then just to torture myself, I was looking at what an NVIDIA call would have been like had I owned it, and it would have gone up 106%, which is the call I probably would have bought had I not owned the stock, which is, yeah. I don't recommend doing that if you have not a good temper because it really sucks seeing how much you could have made. Alright, so I did decide to buy some extra AMD call options with some extra money I had. So you can see in the orders tab I bought 8 more call contracts and it was really, really cheap. So I'm hoping that AMD makes a comeback at this point because we can make a nice little profit with that. Alright, so after I bought those calls, I decided to pull up some charts for these gaming stocks I wanted to get into. So here's the EA chart. Take-Two Interactive chart. All these are the 5-year charts, by the way. Activision, Blizzard, and all 3 of them have been doing phenomenally well over the past 5 years. In fact, Activision Blizzard is the only one who had a down year in 2016. But if you look at their 1-year chart, look on the right-hand side at their 2017 months, they've been doing phenomenally well in 2017. They've just been going up like crazy. So what I decided to do was place a trailing stop on quote sell order for my NVIDIA shares because I decided if I'm going to be bullish on these gaming stocks and NVIDIA, I might as well put my money into the options instead of tying up a lot of my money into stocks and limiting my profit. So I placed a trailing stop on quote order to trail it by $1, and I put good until canceled because I wanted to keep this order open, until that it's sold. So there you can see I placed it to trail by 1 point. Eventually I'll mess around with trailing by a percentage, but for now I'm just going to do dollar amounts. And the trigger price is now set at $119.55. All right, real quick, I just want to show you, NVIDIA just went up a little bit more since I placed that order, so let's see if the price went up. Boom, look at that. It's just locking in more and more profit automatically. This is an amazing tool, guys. You need to definitely get on this when you start trading stocks to lock in, guarantee yourself locking in that profit. That's what you got to do. All right, so shortly after our NVIDIA shares did sell, and it raised its trigger price again to $119.83 this time. So that was cool. Thanks to the trailing stop on quote, we locked in a little bit more profit, so that was cool. Checked our balances, and we now have $6,500 to spend on options. So not a crazy amount of money, but definitely a lot to do damage with. And so what I did was I went to Take-Two Interactive, placed a buy order for 5 contracts, and the bid and ask spread was kind of big, so I set the limit price for $4 to see if we can get in for a little bit cheaper. And we got in for $3.95, so that was cool. And then with Activision Blizzard, they were a little bit cheaper because their stock price was cheaper. And so I got 10 contracts of that, and the bid and ask spread wasn't that bad, so I just placed a market order. So we got in at $1.64 for those calls. Now with EA, they had just been done going up a lot that day, so I anticipated they might come down a little bit tomorrow. So the bid was like $485, the ask was $510, so I placed a limit price of $480 just to see if it would come back down later on and we can get in cheaper. Now with NVIDIA, they also were going up a lot that day, so I was anticipating them to come down so we can get some options with them later on once we had some more money. But towards the end of the day, NVIDIA actually started going up some more. So, oh well, we're going to keep an eye on it. Alright, so later that night, a little before 9 o'clock, I noticed the balance was like over $2,000 lower than when the market actually closed. And not sure exactly why I was doing that. I did see a message at the top of the screen saying important information regarding gain loss cost basis discrepancies. Clicked on that, read this, and it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. I'm not sure what was going on. I also noticed that on the positions part, the stocks were still showing their gains and losses for that day when they usually go to zero. And you can see here they do match up with what the stocks were showing on the stocks widget on the iPhone. And so I don't think anything was really wrong there. It was just it was showing what it wasn't supposed to be showing. Then the balance dropped again, and then a minute later went back up to 85,970, and then finally around 10 o'clock the balance dropped or went back to where it was. So a lot of weird things were going on after the market closed, and I don't know exactly why, but as soon as I figure that out and I find out, I will let you guys know what happened. Alright, so glad we got our money back. That was weird. That's literally, I don't think it's ever happened. Ever. I don't think it's ever happened before, from what I can remember. So yeah, hope you guys like this video. This is kind of weird. But I think we did make money today, so we're on a 4-day streak now. So that's really good. Hoping for, we got 2 more days left this week. Hoping for, some more gains. Keep the streak going. I mean, we always want to go on streaks like this. So, yeah, hoping that we can stay. I'll be happy if we stay in the 80s for the rest of the year, to be honest. But at this rate, we could get into the 90s, maybe even 100. I would freak the F out if that happened. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. We're just gonna take it one day at a time. So hope you guys have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow.